All right, great. We are live. Yeah. All right. Just give me a minute to inform my platforms.
Yeah, we are live, Victor.
Yes. Greetings, everyone present. This is a day we have been waiting for, and I am glad it is finally time. And today, we have a very, very, very important personnel in the Java ecosystem here in our midst today, in the person of Del Nero, a Java champion and a mentor. Um, to be honest, Mr. Nero, you are highly welcome.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Victor. My pleasure to be here.
And mine too. Welcome to the section also, Mr. Robati, the founder of OpenJProxy. You are highly welcome to this section.
Thanks, Victor. And if you allow me, I just would like to say a few words before you start. So thanks, Rafael, for being here. Rafael is a well-known Java champion, right? He's a well-recognized figure in the Java community. We're very proud, Rafael, to have you here today, and we are very happy to share your knowledge and your insights into career development with our community. I think it's a great thing that we managed to arrange this partnership between the Java Challengers and the OJP project. I think we have complementary things that we can work together, and I think this meeting today is one of them. And we're very happy to share with our community the insights you bring to in relation to career development and mentorship. So be welcome. And Victor, thanks for hosting it. I won't stay long. I'll let the two stars of the show take over.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Mr. Robati. I truly appreciate your words and your presence in the section today. All right, my viewers listening, welcome to this section. It's going to be a great day today. Here in our midst, we have a very, very highly respected personnel in the house, in the Java ecosystem. Um, his full name is Rafael Del Nero, but I prefer calling him Del Nero. I hope you are good with that, sir.
It's okay, yeah.
All right. Please confirm you can hear me, Mr. Nero. Can you
Yeah,
hear me, please?
down narrow is totally fine, yes.
Yeah, all right. Thanks. Mr. Del Nero is in that position where I admire so much. I normally ask myself, when will I get to this position of being called a Java champion? Like, it's a dream for me. So I'm looking up to you in everything because I definitely want to become a Java champion someday. So it's really great to have you in the house. Without wasting much time, I'll be handing over the stage to you to kind of proceed with the presentation. So you're highly welcome.
Okay, thank you so much, Victor, for the kind words. And you're doing the right things to become a Java champion, contributing to the community, so that's the most important. Could you hear me? Okay, so should I get started?
Yes, I can
Victor?
hear you clearly. I can hear you clearly. Yes. Go ahead. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Victor. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen. Yeah,
Thank you
very
very
good.
much.
Thank you so much, Victor. Okay, challengers, okay, Java
Thank you very much,
developers.
Mr. Del Nero. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Should I get started now, Victor? Victor, I think, should I get started now?
Uh, go
Great,
ahead,
great. Go
Rafael.
ahead.
Uh, just one note
The
there,
time is
Victor.
yours.
Go ahead, Rafael. Sorry, Victor. When you're not speaking, please go on mute. There is a lot of noise coming from your mic there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And please feel free, Rafael, to take on your presentation. Thank you.
Oh,
Okay,
oh,
yeah. Great. Thank you so much. So hello, challengers. Hello, Java developers who are here on the OJP community. I'm very happy to be here. And today, we're going to be talking about the 6 mistakes keeping strong Java developers underpaid and invisible in the international market, right? So the uncomfortable truth is that technical skill is required, but it's not enough. You need to be technical, good technically, but this is the minimum. This is the bare minimum, right? So the gap for most Java developers is strategic. It's not only technical. Technical is the minimum that the market wants from you. And what is the common belief from many Java developers? The common belief is that, oh, if I become technically stronger, the market will automatically reward me. And that's not true, because I've been like that for a long time in my career. I was studying a lot technologies, and I was delivering, I was creating value, but I wasn't strategic enough. And because I lacked strategy, I lacked other important skills like how to communicate, how to show my market value, how to negotiate my salary. I was underpaid for many years. The reality is that the market will reward how visible you are, how you can show your market value. If you have clear communication, are you able to communicate clearly your value? Or you just talk about solving tasks, you just talk about that you know tools, I know this tool and I solve this task, I work on this project. So what is your way to communicate? Can you communicate impact, or you just communicate tools? Your interview performance, are you able to perform under pressure? Are you able to defend your ideas under pressure? And what about your negotiation skills? Are you afraid of negotiating with a company? Do you negotiate based on your current salary? So what are your strategies? Most developers, they only focus on the technical side. And I was like that. I was doing the same. And as a result, I was studying many hours every day, but I wasn't getting recognition in my job. And it was so frustrating because it was so many hours studying. And like I said, other developers earning the triple of my salary. They were getting promoted and I wasn't. So it wasn't good. Like I said, I was too technical, but I was not good at communicating my value. I lacked negotiation skills. I was negotiating low salaries, and my LinkedIn was weak. And I had a question, like what I was missing beyond code. I thought I had everything, right? But the thing is that I lacked many skills, many important skills to take my career to the next level. And this talk is to show you what are those mistakes that strong Java developers keep repeating. Because I'm tired to see developers, even with more than 20 years of experience, and they are making the same mistake I was making more than 10 years ago. They just study and study. They do lots of courses, and they do, postgraduate degrees. They do masters. They do lots of things. But then you see their salary, it's not that good. Sometimes they are working 14 hours a day, 12 hours a day, earning low salaries, and they don't know what they are doing wrong. and they just keep making the same mistakes over and over again so that they can protect their ego, right? Because the thing is that if you just study, you are basically hiding. In a way, it's a way to hide, right? So you're avoiding to confront what is the real thing. What is the real thing? Is to go to the market, is to know what's going on, is to know how to perform under pressure. Obviously, there are developers who still try to do interviews. They fail many times. They have no idea what is the bottleneck, and they keep on failing. So I'm going to talk about all of those things, because otherwise the cycle won't be broken. You need to break the cycle. And what is the broken career system? So strong developer, random learning, weak visibility, nobody knows you, poor interviews, low leverage, right? So sometimes you don't even get interviews, because if you have, weak visibility, sometimes you apply 100 times, 500 times, and you get no interviews, right? And sometimes you get interviews, but you can't perform well because you're practicing the wrong things. So you're learning random things and you have no consistency. You start and stop. You start and stop. That doesn't work. So basically, if your effort is not turning into opportunities you want, your system is broken. And fixing that system, I know it's not simple because it took me years to solve it myself. It requires clarity. You need to know how to, perform under pressure. You need to know how to take feedback, and you need to have consistency. Many developers are unable to take feedback because they have fragile ego. And I was there as well. Like for me, it was very difficult to take feedback, and I have to take many tough feedback in my career to learn and to be more flexible and to understand that feedback is actually very important for exponential growth. We need that. Otherwise, we don't know where we are making mistakes, and we keep repeating the same mistake again and again and again. So in the end, one of the hardest battles of a developer is to fight their ego. If you can't fight your ego, you can't grow too much, right? So I see many developers in that position. And what is the mistake number one? No clear career target. So most developers say, oh, Rafael, I want to grow. I want to grow doesn't mean much. So what exactly do you want? Do you want a senior role? Do you want to become a staff, a tech lead? What kind of market do you want? You want to operate in local level? You want to go to Europe? You want to work in the United States? You want a global? You want a remote job? What exactly do you want? And what about your visibility? Are you doing, are you lacking visibility? Are you even getting interviews at the jobs you want? Can you communicate clearly? Can you negotiate salary? There are developers who are not, that their communications skills is not very good. And, the minimum, if you want to operate at international level, you need to have, at least reasonable level to talk in English, right? That's the minimum, right? So it doesn't matter. You can be the best developer in the world. If your communication skills is weak, you can't get international job, right? And you can spend, 10,000 hours studying technologies. If you don't fix your communication skills, it doesn't really matter. And I see how many developers doing that. They are stuck in a learning loop in things that don't really matter in their careers, and then they wonder why they are failing in interviews. So the better question is, what specific career level are you trying to reach in the next 12 months? What exactly do you want? You don't need to have the perfect plan right now. You just need to have, some initial direction. So what would be nice for you to happen, right? And the hard truth is that without a target, then everything becomes nice. Then you go to YouTube, you watch all the videos, you watch all the courses, and then you feel busy, right? Feeling busy is good, but it doesn't take you to the next level, because then you don't have focus, right? You don't know exactly what direction you are going in your career. When you don't know the direction, then any path will take you to the place you don't know where that you don't know you are going, right? So mistake number 2 is lack of focus. The famous tutorial hell. Many strong senior developers are here. Mid to senior developers are here, stuck in the tutorial hell. And it feels productive, right? You are watching lots of videos and you think you're learning, you think you're building skills. Okay, it kind of helps. But often it is avoidance, right? Because only watching passively, you're not building skills. What are you doing with this knowledge? Are you doing something or just watching videos? Watching videos, you're not building skill. So the value of a senior is not to say, oh, I watched this course. The value of a senior is if you can apply and explain trade-offs. Like, can you apply what you learned? Can you create a system yourself? Can you solve company problems? Can you solve real business problems? Can you explain trade-offs? Can you explain an architecture decision, right? So can you create an impact to the company with this knowledge you're acquiring, or you're just watching videos randomly? Most developers are watching lots of videos randomly. They're not taking any action. That's the problem. I'm not saying that watching videos is bad. If you watch videos and you apply this knowledge, is good. But if you don't, then you're making a mistake. You're wasting your time. Bad pattern that I see many times is that a developer say, oh, I will learn Kafka today, Kubernetes tomorrow, Kotlin next week. Then there's no project, no proof, no interview readiness. Then what happens? They apply for interviews. Sometimes their LinkedIn really sucks and they don't even have interviews. And then it doesn't matter. You can study 1 million technologies. It won't matter. You will never get international level, right? So you need some kind of proof. A better pattern is to pick one gap, build something small, explain your decisions, and connect it to the role you want. So for example, if you want an international job, build a system with the technologies from the companies you want to work on, right? It doesn't need to be a very complicated system, just something to prove that you know how to create something with those technologies, right? And it's not only that, obviously, because only by having this knowledge of building something with those technologies, not enough. Because like I said, you have to be good with communication skills, also on how to get visibility. So there are many other gaps. But most developers are here stuck in the tutorial hell. And the worst thing about the tutorial hell is that you watch lots of videos, and then because you see no progress, what happens? It's obvious what's going to happen. You're going to stop. Because with no progress, you lose motivation and momentum very quickly. And when that happens, you start and stop. You start and stop. You start and stop. That's very common among senior Java developers as well. Mistake number 3, lack of LinkedIn visibility. So recruiters don't reward hidden value. If no one knows about you, nobody will care. You can be the best developer in the world. If nobody knows you're the best developer in the world, it doesn't really matter, right? So, and international recruiters don't reward hidden value. If you're hidden, if nobody knows you, the market doesn't hire you, especially the international market. So if your profile looks generic, if you're just another Java developer, the market will treat you as generic. So if you don't stand out, your chances to get an international job is very low. because everyone wants an international job, right? Even more if you're working for a third world country, because if you get an international job in a third world country, you're going to get a very good salary, a salary above average, right? So, and considering this scenario, most developers want that. And if you don't stand out, you're going to be just one more developer, right? So, and the headline here could be, that you're a Java developer. You could put your seniority, domain, and your impact. The about section, you have to show experience, the strongest systems you worked on, business impact, and target direction, right? And proof. It's very important that you have recommendations, because it's one thing you talking about yourself. It's another whole thing if someone else talks about you. Because when you talk about yourself, there's not too much weight, because sometimes people even lie, right? But when someone else is talking about you, you get a lot more authority, and that gives you a lot more value, because not you talking about yourself, it's someone else. And one great way to get recommendations is to be a giver. Oh, how do you do that? So there is one of universal laws that are very powerful, which is the universal law of reciprocity. What is that? So basically, if you do something nice to someone else, this person is very likely to do something nice for you as well. And this is, this was studied by science even. And to be reciprocal as humans, it helped us survive. Because back in the days when we are cavemen, there were different tribes, and from time to time, one tribe would have to give food to the other tribe, and the other tribe would have to reciprocate. And with this reciprocity, the tribes could survive. They could eat. They could, they had food, and this is a very strong survival mechanism we have. So what's my recommendation? My recommendation is that you have the giver mindset. Find someone you admire in your job. Find someone who is doing nice things. Maybe a mentor, maybe a good friend, someone who it's a good developer, and give an amazing recommendation to this person, right? And after you do that, you can say, oh, by the way, it would be very nice if I could have a recommendation as well. Obviously, you're not, demanding anything. You're just saying that it would be nice. And you have to do that with a giver mindset, because some people want to give you back, and that's okay, because you're giving it, right? But if they give a recommendation back, that's great. And usually using the reciprocity principle, in average, 80% of the people you gave recommendations will give you a recommendation back. So that's a very good technique to help you get more social proof. Mistake number 4, weak communication skills. And most developers are not good at communicating what they are doing, their value. So at senior level, communication is part of the job, right? So you need to be good at communicating. It's not enough to be a senior developer technically. You have to communicate at senior level too, right? Because as a senior developer, sometimes you're going to have to lead a meeting. You're going to have to defend your ideas. You're going to have to defend technology you want to use. You have to communicate the trade-offs. So you have to go beyond code. Silent competence is expensive. Sometimes you know the answer, but you are silent. So you have to communicate your value. In interviews, you have to know how to explain your thinking before the answer is perfect. This is a very important skill, and many developers think, oh, Rafael, it's only algorithms, it's only system design. No, it's not. You have to be able to communicate your thought process. And many developers make a big mistake here. They just do random neat code and they think they're going to be prepared for the interviews, but it's not only that. In design discussions, defend trade-offs calmly when challenged. And it's very common at senior level, we're going to be challenged all the time. So, and you have to defend trade-offs, you have to communicate your thought process calmly. And inside companies, many senior developers are not able to make their impact visible, right? But at senior level, you need to make your impact visible without sounding like you're complaining, right? So instead of talking about, technologies that you solved tasks, talk about the business value. So what is valuable in your company? So pay attention in the culture, pay attention in what people value in your company, and communicate in a way that you show the value, where people recognize that you are a valuable developer, right? And mistake number 5 is not negotiating salary. And this is another critical mistake. And this mistake can make you lose thousands of dollars easily. I lost many thousands of dollars because I didn't negotiate properly. I was afraid that if I negotiated, they would take off the offer. They would just cancel the offer. But that's not true, because if they really want you as a developer, negotiating is fine. It's totally fine. And actually also increases your value as a developer, because if you're not negotiating, it looks like you are accept anything, right? So if you don't negotiate, the company will define your value. That's a problem, right? If you don't negotiate your value, the company will dictate your salary. So you are not in control. When you don't negotiate your salary, you're not in control of your career. Who is in control of your career is the other company, because they are telling you your salary. So you're not in control, right? And negotiation is not aggression. It is professional alignment. So basically, the bare minimum you have to do is to do research, right? So you need to understand what are the market ranges, how much the companies are paying for a developer with your skills. You need to know roughly the salary of your peers. You have to know the salaries internationally. So you have to know roughly how much is your market value, because if you have no idea, then you are with extreme disadvantage during the negotiation, because the company then can say, oh, you're going to earn this salary. If you don't negotiate, you're going to accept whatever. They might tell you a very low salary. Sometimes the developers even accept lower salaries than the previous job. And that's horrible. Like, this is kind of, going backwards in your career. So you are earning very high salary and then you earn a lot less. And you can't anchor your salary low. So especially if you have a low salary, because if you have a low salary, guess what? If you tell your salary, the whole negotiation process is going to be based not on your skills, but on your current salary. They won't care. If you're the best developer in the world, they won't care at all. They will base the salary offer in your current salary. And if you're a low paid salary, you're going to lose thousands of dollars here, right? So you have to anchor the market on the value you can create, not on your salary, right? And show business value, negotiate from impact, maturity, and risk reduction. So what kind of value you can create to the company? Don't go to the interview talking that you can solve tasks and you know technologies. A junior developer can do that. What kind of value can create to this company? Like, how can you make more money to the company? How can you increase productivity? How can you reduce bugs? How can you increase quality of the software? How can you reduce costs of the infrastructure, right? So you have to show during the interview the business value you can create. In the end, the company wants to make more profit. And you have to prove in this interview that you are the developer who will help the company make more profit. right? Mistake number 6 is not building career visibility. Strong work that stays invisible creates weak career leverage. If you don't negotiate your value, the company will detect your salary, like I said. And the thing is that, you don't need to be, like when I talk about visibility, you don't need to become an influencer and, share content every day on the internet. It's not that. So what you need to do is to show your impact. Turn projects into clear results, trade-offs, and business outcomes. So, did you create something meaningful in your company? Do you have the proof? Do you have a POC on your GitHub? Do you have open source contributions? That is also amazing, right? So all of those things, you can show your impact and you can show that you know your stuff. You're not a random developer. Communicate your thinking. Are you able to explain your thought process? Like explain your decisions, architectures, risks, and technical trade-offs clearly. And create market trust. So is your LinkedIn clear enough for the international market, or is it a mess? It's generic, doesn't say much. You're just another Java developer. If you're just another Java developer, the international market will overlook you. They will ignore you. In interviews, how do you perform under pressure? Do you perform well? Are you able to communicate clearly, or do you freeze in the interview? So how are you performing? And what about your internal reputation? Are you able to transform your contributions, your current job, in a meaningful story during the interview, a meaningful business value? Are you able to transfer this value from your current job to the company you could join? So if you can do those things, then your value increases a lot in the interview, right? So, like I said, you don't need to share content every day. You just need to make your way to show your impact. Open source is great. Like OJP is an amazing project, and I highly recommend you. Like if you want to show meaningful impact, contribute to OJP. You can also practice your communication skills. If you want to go another level, you can. I know that most developers are shy; they don't want to give talks, but this is an important skill for senior developers. And if you don't want to give a talk in conferences or in events, just practice this skill to give a talk to your team, because that's a very important skill for a senior. Then you're not just a developer who communicates to one person. You can transfer your knowledge to the team. You can influence other developers, right? At senior level, that's a very important skill. Even if you don't want to give talks in conferences, you don't need to use this skill only in conferences. You can use that in your company, in your job, right? So, yeah, if you are invisible, it's difficult to land an international job. And what changes when you fix the system? So if you have clarity, things get a lot easier, right? Because then you know exactly what to do. For example, if you know for sure that you want an international job, and you know the countries, for example, if you want a remote job or relocation, all of those details make a big difference, because then you know exactly what to focus on. Then visibility. So the market understand your value? Is your LinkedIn clear? So the recruiters, when they look at your LinkedIn, they see value in you, or it's kind of generic, you never get interviews for international level. Your performance, are you able to communicate under pressure? Are you able to perform well in the interview? So remember, it's not only doing exercises on lead code. It's not that. What about the real world? When you do the interview, do you freeze during the interview? Do you feel very nervous? Like the words don't come out? How do you perform in an interview under pressure? Are you able to communicate your thought process? Right? So there are many other things. It's not only, oh, I will do the lead code exercise. No, you have to go beyond. Negotiation. Are you afraid of negotiating? You don't know your value. You don't know how to negotiate. If you don't know how to negotiate, you're going to lose thousands of dollars, a lot of money. And it's not only that, because when you don't know how to negotiate, when you earn a low salary, it means that your career is not very advanced, right? The better you negotiate, the faster you advance in your career. So this is something many developers ignore. I myself ignored that for many years, and it was a big mistake. I lost a lot of money. An authority law, so you don't need to create content every day and do lots of posts, but share your insights, share things you learned in your job on LinkedIn from time to time. Choose a project to contribute to open source. Could be OJP, for example. Create a POC on your LinkedIn and possibly create an article explaining your thought process, your POC. Create a personal project. You have to go beyond your current company, because if all your knowledge is inside your job, only your peers will know your value, and the market won't know anything about you. And that's the problem, because if the market doesn't know you are good, you won't get a very good job. That's for sure. Probably not even the interview you're gonna get. So this is another skill that many developers completely neglect. They think that if they only focus on technical skills, they will get nice jobs automatically, but that's not the truth, right? And I'm tired to see that in the market. Therefore, the goal is not to study more. And like I said, guys, I'm tired to talk to developers with more than 15 years of experience, more than 20 years of experience, and they are doing exactly that. They're just studying more. Sometimes they tell me, Rafael, I'm just getting another certification, and then after that, I'm gonna try learn international job. Oh, Rafael, I just need to study more. So I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna be here studying, and then only then, when I feel completely ready, I'm gonna learn international job. So, and that's a big mistake, because that's a way to avoid confrontation, right? So you're not confronting the real thing. You need to confront the real markets. Not, you can't hide behind studying more. That won't solve your career problems, right? You have to confront, and confront. Feedback, strategy, confront again, consistency, focus. That's what you need. Study more won't solve your problem. Study more is just a passive way to procrastinate and to hide, right? So you don't want that. It's a big mistake. Okay, so let's recap. The 6 mistakes are, most developers don't know what are their career target. They are just learning lots of things without focus. They are invisible to the market. They are unable to communicate under pressure during the interviews. They freeze, and sometimes in their jobs, they can't communicate their business value. They don't negotiate their salary, and they're not building career visibility. So they're not creating POCs, weak GitHub, not doing anything outside of their companies to show their value, right? And that's a mistake. And why is it so hard to solve alone? So getting unstuck from your career is not a 7-day magical formula to solve all your problems. If it was that easy, you wouldn't be stuck for so much time. So a quick checklist can create awareness, but it does not rebuild your career system. So this is why random effort keeps smart developers stuck. So what you need is diagnosis, career diagnosis, because most developers misdiagnose the bottleneck. They study more when the real problem is visibility, performing under pressure in interviews, communicating their value, negotiating. So there are many other problems. They don't know what to study, they don't know how to prepare. So that's why you need feedback, because if you don't have feedback, if you don't have your case specifically analyzed, you're gonna keep taking the same actions, you're gonna keep repeating the same mistakes. Because if you cannot see your own blind spots clearly, especially under interview pressure, then you don't know what to improve. And I know many developers who did, more than 30 interviews, and they keep on failing. They don't know their blind spots. They just keep repeating the same pattern, right? And you need consistency. On top of that, like to reach international level, like it's not something that you 7-day plan that will solve all your problems. You need consistency. It's a long-term plan, execution plan with focus. It requires repeated execution. It's not one motivational week, right? It's a marathon, right? And I can show you here a real example, Wellington, who took the career diagnosis a while ago. And, before he was trying to land a job in London for more than 2 years, he did many interviews. It was a lot of effort, but he didn't have a clear strategy. So let me show you the before and the after from Wellington here. Just a moment.
I was struggling and stuck at
Sorry.
I was struggling and stuck at the interview process, and it was take my energy, and that's it. I wasn't able to land a job abroad, and I've been with that for 2 years. I was able to land a job in London as a intermediate Java developer, earning 7K yearly, which is 7 times more than I used to earn in Brazil. So my salary has a growth of 7 times, basically 7 times, and 70 pounds, guys.
Yeah, that's an example
I
of
was
Wellington.
struggling
So
and
let me
stuck
pause
at the
here.
interview process, and it was
Let me just a moment. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he was stuck for 2 years. He started with the career diagnosis, and that made a big difference for him. He multiplied his salary by 7, landed a job in London, so he's operating at international level, right? And now I invite you to do like Wellington. I invite you to apply for a free career diagnosis session where I will help you review your bottlenecks. And I will review your application personally, right? It's not everyone who gets the career diagnosis session. So it's only serious Java developers who are mid to senior, right? Basically, I'm going to identify what is blocking your next level. So what exactly you need to fix, if it's your technical skills, if it's your communication skills, visibility. So we're gonna do analysis on your main bottlenecks for your career, and you can use this. Okay, so let me just put here just a moment. Let me just I'll just fix here the QR code. Just a moment, please. Okay. Okay, for some reason I'm having an error here on the QR code, but I will send the link here for you, okay? So I'm gonna send here on the chat. Victor, if you can please send that to the audience, it's gonna be great. So
all right. Okay. I don't know. We'll have a couple of questions for you and some other questions from the comment section. So I don't know if we are set to take one or two questions before we call it a day.
sure, let's go. Yeah. Yeah. So, and
All right,
please, if you
great.
can send the link.
The first question. Okay, have you forwarded the link to me?
Sorry, say again.
Okay. Okay, confirm if you can hear me. I'm yet to see the link.
I can hear you. Yeah, I just sent the link here on the chat, on the private chat.
Okay, okay, yes, it's visible. It's visible. I guess they can see it now. It's visible on the comments.
Oh, great! Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Um, the questions we have here. So, what's your the question says, what's your advice for a senior Java developer that is gainfully employed, but at the sides he is learning Golang, Kubernetes by the side?
Okay, so let me see if I understand the question. So, what is the advice of a senior developer who is learning Golang and what? By the way, I fixed here the.
Yeah.
You can put again the slide, please, Victor. I fixed the QR code.
All right. All right. I don't know if you get my question. Sorry, there's a bit of noise on my background. I don't know if you get my question.
Yeah. Okay. I see the question here. So what is your advice for a Java developer that is gainfully employed as a Java engineer? It's totally fine, Brighta, because as a Java developer, so you're not a Java developer to start, right? You're a software engineer, right? So as a software engineer, you can use any tool you want. So you can use Golang, you can use Kotlin, whatever the tool. Because the difficult thing about being a developer, software engineer, is not to know a tool, is to know the programming paradigms. So if you think about Java, what is the most difficult thing in Java? It's not the syntax. It's not the syntax, right? It is the paradigms, right? So the most difficult thing about Java is to really master object-oriented programming. This is the hard stuff, right? Another difficult thing is functional programming. It's another paradigm. The other really difficult thing is concurrency, right? How to handle exceptions, right? But to summarize, the most difficult things, it's not the language itself, it's the fundamentals. So if you know these structures, if you know the basics of algorithms, if you know the main features of the Java programming language, if you know the fundamentals very well, you can work in any programming language, and especially Golang. Golang is not a difficult programming language, right? So it doesn't take you, like if you know the programming fundamentals of Java very well, it won't take you a lot of time to learn Golang and those other programming languages. And learning Kubernetes is totally fine as well. Like I said, guys, like there's no silver bullet. You need to know if the thing you are learning makes sense for your career. Like I said, if you don't have clarity, if you don't know where your career is going, then like you're just sometimes learning just to learn. But if you know, okay, I want an international job, I want this type of my career, then you have to take the actions, have to learn the things that make sense in your career, right? So yeah. And by the way,
There is a, there is a second question there too, on the
sure,
comments.
sure. Is this world of AI, in this world of AI, do you suggest daily grinding your fleet code? Yeah, like daily grinding on lead code. Like I said, it depends on your gap. Like, is algorithms your biggest gap? So in the world of AI, it's okay. AI only makes you more productive. It doesn't solve all the problems. So basically, if you're a good developer, if you use AI, you're gonna be a 10x developer. If you're a bad developer, you're gonna be 10x a bad developer, right? So AI doesn't make a miracle. Still, it's you who solves the problem. So AI is just a tool to make you more productive, but it won't, solve the problems. It won't take ownership of the problems you solve in your job. So AI is just there to help, right? So, but in your case, I don't know exactly what is your career scenario, but you would have to know, right? You have to know what are your biggest gaps. You have to know if it's really lead code. Sometimes I'm tired to see so many developers grinding lead code and thinking that, oh, this will solve all my problems. No, like if you don't have good communication skills, if you don't know how to perform under pressure, if you don't have good LinkedIn, if you don't create reasonable visibility, it won't matter. You can be, you can solve 10,000 lead code problems. It won't matter. So, and even if you get really good with algorithms, if you can't communicate under pressure during the interview, it won't matter. So there are many gaps. I see many developers making the same mistake, asking, Rafael, I'll just grind the lead code, I'll just grind studying things, and then I'm gonna land international job. That's not how it happens. There are many other things involving your progress toward international level, right? So that's why I am offering you guys the career diagnosis. And take the time now because the spots are limited. And I'll be talking with you guys in a one-on-one session. It's gonna be around 45 minutes conversation with you. And I'm gonna be analyzing your specific case, and I'm gonna give you the view of what are your major gaps to reach international level, right? So to answer your question then, Brita, so it's not
All right,
only lead code.
Mr. Yeah, 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 sure. Okay, I guess that is clear. Thank you very much for that clear answer. I really appreciate that. And I would like to ask, when assessing a Java developer, what are the top 2 or 3 things you look out for when assessing a Java developer?
Okay, so say again, Victor, please. It's a bit difficult to hear you.
Things you look out for when accessing a Java developer.
You broke up. Can you please write the question?
All right, let me do that. Let me put it on the comments probably better.
yeah, guys, in the meantime, you can ask questions and you can use the link to apply for the career diagnosis session. Okay, great. What are the top 3 things to look out to be a great Java developer, I will assume? Okay, so, well, the bare minimum, you have to have strong fundamental knowledge. So you have to be strong in object-oriented programming. You have to know how to write clean code, good code, maintainable code. You have to know, the design patterns. You have to know concurrency. You have to know about microservices, the basic architectures, system design, right? So you have to have the bare minimum of technical knowledge and strong Java foundations. So if your main programming language is Java, you have to be strong with Java, right? So you have to know the main features of Java. That's the bare minimum, right? Then once you have the foundation well established, then you have to know how to be visible, right? Because if nobody knows you, then you can't get an interview, right? So how can you show your value? You show your value by having a strong LinkedIn profile, by showing the impact you can create to companies, by having POCs on your LinkedIn, contributing to open source, creating some posts on LinkedIn so that you show that you know your stuff. So you have to have visibility. You need to know how to market yourself as a software engineer. Otherwise, if I see your profile, for example, I remember, I want to interview developers, and I see your LinkedIn, and I see a very generic LinkedIn, has nothing special, I will ignore it, right? So if you don't know how to show your value, the market doesn't care, right? And the other skill that is very important is your communication skills, right? Because think about it, 50% of the interview is about communication. If you can't communicate your value, if you can't communicate your thought process, like if you don't have the minimum, if you are weak on your body language, even the body language, you will fail in the interview. So you need to practice defending your ideas, communicating trade-offs, communicating your business value, talking to business as a technical person. So all of those skills are very important. So to summarize, strong foundation knowledge, market visibility. You need to know how to market yourself as a software engineer. And the third one is about communication. You need to know how to communicate under pressure. That's it.
All right, all right. A quick one, a quick one. I would like to ask, why would you recommend OpenJProxy for Java developers?
So why would you recommend OpenJProxy? Is that the question?
Yes, why would you recommend OpenJProxy for Java developers in terms of contributing to open source?
Sure. Good question, Victor. Well, firstly, because OJP is very open for the community, and you can contribute, you can earn, even badges, and you're gonna learn a lot about, complex concepts like proxy for databases, and you're gonna be working with highly skilled developers, and you're gonna work on your communication skills. So you're gonna be creating something to market yourself, right? So by contributing to OJP, it's gonna make you a better problem solver, a better software engineer, right? So definitely, it's a good community to join. and they are very open for more Java developers joining as contributors. So, make the effort, take the step, and definitely will contribute to your career.
All right. Thank you very much for this answer. And one last one. I've already taken your time much, but one last one. What I would like to ask: when they contribute to open source, how much do they have to contribute to open source before they can be able to share to the public? Oh, this is what I've done. This is what I've contributed to a particular project like this, or probably OpenJProxy.
So, can you write the question, Victor, please? So, your question is about, so if they contribute to open source, how much they have to, what is the question exactly, please?
Okay, a minute. We get it in the comments.
Yeah. Also, if you please can share the link. Oh yeah, you shared here. Oh, but just need to share the HTTPS as well. But it's fine. Great. Okay, so can you please write the question? Yes, great.
Yeah, you have it there.
So share their progress. What do you mean by that exactly?
To share what they have contributed in the project. Like most developers don't feel confident to share what they have contributed, especially in the open source.
Well, in my opinion, it's like your first pull request. I mean, your first pull request that's merged, share it. Like it's your first contribution. That's really valuable. Like because when you contribute to open source, you are already on the top 5% of developers, because most developers will never contribute to open source. And if you took the step to contribute to open source projects, like even your first merge is a great thing to merge to share. So you don't need to make a huge contribution. Do your first contribution, be consistent, be there, because also to have real growth with open source is not about creating one pull request and merging only one. It's about contributing in many other things. For example, Victor is hosting the OJP lives here, right? So there are other ways to contribute as well. So you can contribute via code, sharing knowledge about OJP, giving talks about OJP. There are many other ways to contribute to open source, right? But in my opinion, like your first merge, share with everyone, because it's already a great accomplishment.
Great, great. Thank you very much, Mr. Raphael. I'm really very delighted to have you in the house. Thank you for all the expositions on the mistakes that Java developers make in their career. I think it's very, very clear. The points you mentioned, the clear explanations are worth it. And the questions you answered was very clear enough to understand. And I really appreciate that. For everyone listening and for those my listeners in the house, I would like to repeat again what we are doing. This is OpenJProxy. What is OpenJProxy? OpenJProxy is that's that's just take it as a traffic, right? As a traffic controller to your database. So that is the simple way to say OpenJProxy. But there's a lot to OpenJProxy: database connectivity management and the rest, and all the benefits that comes with OpenJProxy. So OpenJProxy is quite a new project. Um, Very soon we are going to be live in production, and this is a very, 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 very good time to contribute to OpenJProxy. Please, if you are a Java developer and you are looking to contribute to open source, you will be very, very much recognized with OJP because there's a point we will get to now when we get to 1,000 developers contributing, you might not really be visible. But at this point, it's a golden opportunity contributing to OpenJProxy. Yeah, like what we are doing today is a bi-weekly program. This bi-weekly program is called OJP Connect. And what is OJP Connect? OJP Connect is a bi-weekly program that have been designed to discuss everything open source and as well everything OpenJProxy. So do stay in touch with us. Follow our YouTube channels, turn on notifications, follow the LinkedIn page, turn on notifications. You are definitely going to stay up to date as we'll be updating you live on what we are doing and sharing our journeys like this and such lessons today. Um, so that's basically it. So do keep in touch on the Facebook page, on the LinkedIn, and also on YouTube. Yeah. So that's it. I'll be urging you guys to do your best to explore OJP repo. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out and we will be there to help. Okay, fine. I think we'll have a, is it a question? I just submitted my applicant. Please send the link to OpenJProxy.
Great.
All right. Okay. Please, a minute. I'll be sharing the link to OpenJProxy project.
Yeah, thank you so much for the kind words, guys.
Okay, please, you have it now in the comment section. You can follow the repo. I've just shared the repo to OpenJProxy. Please do follow up what we are doing and explore the project and all of that. Yeah, thank you very much, guys, in the comment section. I truly appreciate your time. I also thank you, Mr. Rafael, for all you do for your time, and also know that I'm a big admirer of you. You understand?
Thank
Your
you. Thank
title,
you. You're very kind.
I wanna get to that title where I'm being called a Java champion. You know, so so I definitely have an
Amazing.
eye on you. I have an eye on you, so I'm looking up towards that in my career. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. Very good.
Yeah, I don't know if you
Thank you so
have
much.
one more thing to ship in before we call it a day.
Um, like, yeah, I didn't understand what you said. Shipping? What do you mean exactly?
Oh, I wanted to
Something
know
like a
if,
last. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
like a last, yeah, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, like, guys, going alone is very difficult. And yeah, if you keep doing things that are not the right ones, you're gonna repeat the cycle. So there's no shame about asking for help. I asked for help many times. I still ask for help to grow faster. So if you want to really accelerate your career, don't go alone. You know, ask for help. That's
Great.
it.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Raphael, the Java champion. I truly appreciate your time today. Um, I hope this is not going to be the last session that we are going to be having with you, and I'm hoping that we'll have you some other time on this very program. Thank you,
Amazing.
everyone. Yeah, sure. Thank you, everyone who is listening, those present. Thank you for your time, for being present. All that is truly appreciated. Stay in touch with OpenJProxy. It's a great project, and you're going to enjoy contributing to it. Solving that database problem is definitely worth it for a Java developer. So thank you, everyone, and see you in the next section.
See
Thank
you
you
guys.
all.
Thank you so much. Cheers. Thank you so much, Victor.
Yeah, thank you. All right, bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah.